Critical face-to-face negotiations aimed at ending the ongoing conflict with Iran are now just hours away, as global attention shifts toward a high-stakes diplomatic mission led by the United States. Vice President Vance has departed for Pakistan, where he is expected to lead the American delegation in what marks the administration's third attempt to secure a workable agreement with Tehran. These talks come at a fragile moment, with a temporary pause in fighting already showing signs of strain. That instability is being fueled by continued military activity in the region, including ongoing strikes linked to Israel in Lebanon and growing disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. Together, these developments are complicating what was expected to be a focused diplomatic effort. According to officials, the vice president now finds himself managing multiple crises at once, despite previously being one of the most vocal critics of U.S. military involvement abroad. His role as chief negotiator has raised questions inside and outside the White House about shifting influence and internal divisions within the administration. Sources familiar with internal discussions suggest that Vance's position has become increasingly delicate. While he is publicly supporting the administration's strategy, there are indications of private concern over the direction and consequences of the conflict. Some officials have even described a reduction in his influence within key decision-making circles, despite his leading role in the negotiations. Analysts note that it is highly unusual for a sitting vice president to take direct control of foreign negotiations of this scale, especially in a situation involving active conflict and multiple regional powers. Typically, such responsibilities would fall under the Secretary of State or senior diplomatic envoys. However, officials argue that his involvement signals how seriously Washington is treating the negotiations. From Tehran's perspective, the presence of a vice president at the table could be interpreted as both a sign of urgency and an opportunity to extract stronger terms. At the same time, uncertainty remains over Iran's internal decision-making. Reports suggest divisions within its leadership, raising doubts about how unified its negotiating position will be when talks begin. One of the central sticking points is expected to be the Strait of Hormuz, a critical global shipping route. The waterway remains heavily restricted, with hundreds of vessels waiting to pass and only limited movement recorded in recent days. Iranian authorities are widely believed to be using control over the strait as a key source of leverage. There are also reports that Tehran is considering new conditions for passage through the waterway, including economic measures that could reshape global energy flows. Such proposals are likely to face strong resistance from both the United States and regional allies. Meanwhile, mediators in Pakistan have expressed cautious optimism, stating that preparations for the talks are moving forward despite lingering uncertainty over participation and final terms. Behind the scenes, diplomatic sources suggest that discussions may initially focus on stabilizing ceasefire conditions before moving toward any long-term agreement. Lebanon and the Strait of Hormuz are expected to dominate the early agenda as both issues continue to escalate tensions across the region. The broader impact is already being felt in global markets. Energy prices remain volatile, shipping routes are under pressure, and inflation concerns are growing in several major economies. As the negotiations approach, questions also remain about consistency in U.S. policy. Officials acknowledge that shifting objectives and evolving strategies have added complexity to the talks, making it difficult for negotiators on all sides to establish clear expectations. For now, all eyes are on the upcoming meeting in Pakistan, where Vice President Vance will attempt to navigate one of the most complex diplomatic challenges of the year, with the outcome still highly uncertain.